So we talked about knives a bit here, and going out tonight to watch the wildlife. Anyway, going out tonight to watch the wildlife. That's what I'm going to be doing. 2 a.m., 3 a.m., somewhere in there I'll come in. Take me some hot coffee and whatnot. A few weapons for self-defense, just in case. And go from there tonight. And then tomorrow I will do an afterward on video as to what happened, if anything. May get out there and just sit around, for a few hours and nothing happened, But I want to go out and see what's going on the property. I want to see who's hanging out when I'm not out there. I will do a tabletop of this knife and sheath for you in a coming video. Now, this is the original sheath with this knife. No, not, yeah. Yeah. I think. Now, this sheath is the one that came with my pre-production knife that I did the testing. Okay. Actually, no, it did not. I don't remember anymore. It's too long. But this knife. This is a knife. Actually, you know what? I had the pre-production knife, and I did everything, all the testing with that knife to make sure it was good to go before it came out to you guys on the open market. And I ended up convexing the edge on that one. And I did not do my Fury Road tread on the handle scales. It was just the plain handle because I wanted to test it the way everybody else would be using it, except for, I convex the edge because I always do that. Immediately I get a knife and I convex the edge, unless it's designed to be a 0 degree Scandi, which I don't know that I have a 0 degree. I do have one 0 degree Scandi. It's a jacklore knife, and I was given that as a gift by the guy who designed it and makes it, Sandy. Anyway, so yeah, so I went ahead and I had convexed the edge on it, and I did all kinds of stuff. But anyway, people that go out in the woods and they go hunting and trapping and so on, they need to get better knife skills. They need to practice their knife skills. Like, I've always said that, and I've always tried to teach people, to how to do certain things with their knives, because your knife is your main tool. Besides your brain, your knife is your main tool, right, in the wilderness. Anyway, we'll talk about more of that later. So I had left off the last video. I was talking about this is one of my favorite small knives. But this knife really reminds me of Morse Kahinsky, because Morse had a certain parameter for a knife. His idea of a perfect knife, and this really fits about 95% of those parameters. But anyway, this particular knife was designed by a fellow named Goran, and he lives in South America in the Amazon. This thing is incredibly sharp as well, just like that one there. I had reground this edge to a Scandivex, so this is a Scandi down to a micro convex edge, okay, which allows it to stay sharp for a much longer period of time. Convex will stay sharp about 4 to 5 times longer than any other edge. So you just drop it. You know, when you've been using it for a bit, just stop, clean the blade off, dry it, and then strop it on a leather strop with some compound of choice. I use Herb's Yellowstone, and it will come right back up to a razor sharp edge. So yeah, so Tops does this Tanimboca Puuko, okay, and has Goran's symbol on this one side, which is a tree frog, I believe. Anyway, so I know I have been told that people who are real sticklers about traditional knives with the Puuko, they will say, well, that's not a real Puuko. That's not a real Puuko. It doesn't have a 0-degree Scandi and blah, blah, blah. Well, Tops sends this with a Scandi. It's a Scandi grind, and it comes with their standard V style edge. I don't know what they call that V style edge. But anyway, the guy that designed this particular Puuko knife, he does custom knives. He builds knives by hand in South America, and his spec on all of his knives is Scandivex. Okay, and so what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring this knife to his spec, which is what I did, and it was not easy. It took a long while. It took me a couple of weeks to get this to where I was starting to be happy with it, and I'm very happy with it now, because the longer you work a knife using my belt system, okay, the better it will get. And it will get to a point where you barely even have to touch the knife. Just drop it up and it's ready to go, right? So most of the time, you know, I could use a knife for a good while before I even have to, you know, take it to anything. And generally, generally I just have to use a leather paddle strop that I invented. I use a leather paddle strop. Mine's not the regular paddle strop that you see out there. Mine's round. Okay, mine's round. It looks like a boat oar, but it's round on one side. But anyway, I'll take it to the paddle strop generally, and that will bring it back up to a fine edge. Now, if I've really been working it hard, a lot of hardwoods and stuff like that, then I might take it to the honing belt by hand, okay? The honing belt by hand that I have on my setup. It's strop it up, and then take it to the my leather strop, and then that'll bring it back up. But it takes a lot to like take that fine edge off of a good convex. All right. So this is Scandivex. So it is a Scandi grind to a micro convex edge. Now the Bushcrafter over there has a saber grind to a convex edge. Not a micro, but to a convex edge, also known as an appleseed edge. Now, I'm eating away time here, ain't I? I'm always eating away time. Time just passes. It's like a river. It never goes back the other way, so you got to take advantage while you have time. Anyway, back of this guy is ground to a 90. So, you know, good for scraping stuff. And you can, you know, hit a fire steel with the back of this here. It's got the bow drill divots on each side. If you go to the very beginnings of the videos in this channel, you will see me do a bow drill fire with this knife, with the Brewer survival knife, and the Bushcrafter, I think. I don't remember. No, I didn't do the Bushcrafter that time. I did the Tracker, Tops Tracker T1. I used that one because I put a bow drill divot on that one years ago, so I could use it for bow drill, right? Anyway, but my Bushcrafter has a bow drill divot on both sides. This has a bow divot on both sides, you know, and yeah. So yeah, when I do bow drill, using this as the socket for the spindle, I always have the blade facing away from me, right? The blade is facing away. Some people will say, well, just put the sheath on it. Well, you can't do that. Okay? You can't do that. It just makes it clumsier. And when you have something that's clumsy, it's easier to hurt yourself, right? It just makes it clumsier. So, you know, then you're trying to like hold the sheath on while you're doing bow drill. No. So you get a good purchase on this knife. This has the Rocky Mountain tread. So you just get a good purchase on that knife and just do your bow drill. I like these little holes here. Okay, and I'm assuming that is to lash it to the end of a pole so that you can, you know, stick piranha or whatever, right? Okay. So, yeah, solid full tang, you know. I can't see where they would Swiss cheese the tang on this or skeletonize it. That would not be, that just would not be smart. I do not like skeletonized tangs on knives or Swiss cheese tangs. I don't, because it, you know, they, oh well, it lightens it up, it makes it better for epoxy, blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't care about all that. I want a solid steel knife construction. Now my Bushcrafter, the tang is completely solid except for the holes for the bolts holding the scales on and the lanyard hole. That's it. The rest of it's solid steel, baby. That way you can pound the crap out of it if you need to get something done. Get quiet. Alright. So yeah, we've been talking about knives. Knives are important. They're a very important tool. That's a beauty right there, I tell you. I'm waiting on a skookum. That guy Rod Garcia, he contacted me once. He just basically said, okay, you know what, you're on the list. But he doesn't answer no emails. He won't take a phone call or nothing. I don't know exactly how that all is supposed to work, is to just, you know, give him the specs that you want. I know that he does that stuff in his spare time. He's got a thick wallet, I'm sure. You know, because he just does it for fun in his spare time. Anyway, Yeah, but Skookum, I'd like to have one. Mostly as a tribute to Morse Kahansky. Probably wouldn't use it a whole lot. Probably use this one more because this is very readily available. But it'd be nice to have one. You know, Skookum, Spookum, Skookum. Then sometimes you see guys that got like 10 of them. I don't understand that. P.S. I'm marked safe from fictional bird flu today. Alright? Zoom in on that. Can you see it? I'm marked safe. Marked safe from fictional bird flu. Catch you later.